Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Gianluca Di Marzio believes that Victor Lindelof has only one option in Serie A. Football journalist Gianluca Di Marzio believes that Victor Lindelof only has one option in Italy if he leaves Manchester United. Speaking to Swedish outlet FotballDirekt, the Italian transfer expert claims that the only possibility could be Roma because they need an extra defender, but they have a financial agreement with UEFA for financial fair play, so they can't sign players if they don't sell players. The Swedish captain has recently had a one-year extension activated on his current deal, meaning he cannot leave for free this summer. Di Marzio claims that if Lindelof wants to move to Italy, Roma is the only viable option. He said the following: I have not heard of any Italian interest in Lindelof in this period, even though a lot of Italian clubs need defenders like Roma, Milan, and Napoli. They are trying to get young players and not old players. It depends on him if he wants to stay at United. He can play in Italy, Spain, but he might think it's the right time to go back home and play in his country. AC Milan might seem an obvious choice as compatriot and former teammate Zlatan Ibrahimovic has taken on a new role at the Serie A giants. However, the sports journalist does not believe that the charismatic former striker has the power to decide who to sign. Moreover, Napoli do not want to recruit players who are over 30 and instead want to decrease the age of their squad, consequently ruling them out of a move for Lindelof. According to Di Marzio, this only leaves Roma, who could sell players such as Llorente or Spinazzola, or Renato Sanchez, whose salary is so high. If Sanchez go, they can use his salary to get another player on loan. Lindelof's future is very much up in the air, with contrasting reports aplenty. Just before the end of the year, Fabrizio Romano reported that the Red Devils want Lindelof to be part of the project in the present and future. However, shortly after, the player was linked to a shock move to Real Madrid, which obviously never transpired. Andre Onana reveals his difficulties with leaving Manchester United. Andre Onana has described the decision to leave Manchester United to represent Cameroon at the African Cup of Nations as choosing between my father and my mother. When the goalkeeper agreed to relocate to Manchester from Milan in the summer, he had assured his new employers he would not be taking part in the mid-season tournament as he had retired from international duty. Onana had left the Cameroonian camp during the 2022 World Cup in Qatar following a fierce dispute with Song, the manager of his country. The pair disagreed over Onana's preference to take risk when playing out from the back, as he has become famed at club level, but Song believed there was no place for it on the international stage. The sequence of events drove Onana's retirement last year. The 27-year-old agreed to reverse this decision. However, after receiving pressure from the Cameroonian president and Football Federation, they wanted the country's biggest star to be a part of the squad for the esteemed tournament in the Ivory Coast. Onana agreed to don the Cameroonian shirt once again for the pivotal qualifier against Burundi, a game which saw them run out 3-0 winners and confirm their place at AFCON. The goalkeeper was actually aware of the promise he had made United officials during the summer, however. As such, he strove to reach an agreement with Fecafoot which would see him delay his meet-up with the rest of the Cameroonian squad until the last moment, thus allowing Onana to play for his club in the key match against Tottenham Hotspur. The federation agreed. United played Spurs on January 14th, while Cameroon began their tournament against Guinea on January 15th. The goalkeeper flew directly to Ivory Coast immediately after the Spurs game in the ambitious hope of representing his country less than 24 hours later. It proved an unfeasible feat. While the remainder of the Cameroonian squad had already been together for a week during the country's pre-tournament training camp in Saudi Arabia, Onana reported for duty at 4 a.m. on Monday morning after his flight had been severely delayed due to bad weather. The 27-year-old was forced to land at a different airport, a 3-hour drive from his original destination. As a result, Onana was not included in the squad for the opening game, a decision which required El Hadji Diouf, former Liverpool and Senegal player, of all people to calm the goalkeeper down. Such was his anger at the decision. His cousin, Fabrice Ondoa, was instead selected in goal. Alvaro Fernandez loan move to Benfica will become permanent if he starts 50% of games. Manchester United defender Alvaro Fernandez will join Benfica on a permanent basis this summer if he starts in 50% of their games this season, according to Fabrizio Romano. The left-back spent the first half of the campaign on loan with La Liga side Granada, where he was in and out of the starting lineup. United eventually triggered a break clause in the deal. Fernandez has now joined Benfica on a temporary deal until June. The Portuguese champions have a 6 million euros buy option, which will become obligatory if he starts in half of their games. If the club graduate joins them on a long-term deal, United will have a buyback clause and sell-on clause. They have also agreed matching rights for any outside bids for the Spaniard. The 20-year-old had a good preseason with United earlier this summer. It was anticipated that he could break into the first-team squad after injuries to Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia. However, manager Erik ten Hag preferred to sign Sergio Reguilon on a short-term loan to provide competition to Diogo Dalot, Victor Lindelof and Sofiane Amrabat for the left-back role. This gave a clear indication that Ten Hag does not see Fernandez in his short-term plans. Hence, United have made a wise decision to loan him out with a view to a potential transfer. Fernandez has the opportunity to develop at one of the most successful clubs in Portugal. Benfica have been brilliant in transforming emerging players into top performers in recent years. Enzo Fernandez, Darwin Núñez, and Gonzalo Ramos are a few examples. If Fernandez can stand out with his displays in the Primera Liga, United could re-sign him in the long run. Lille want 90 million euros for Lenny Yoro this month and 60 million euros in the summer. Manchester United unwilling to meet their demands. Manchester United finds Lille centre-back Lenny Yoro very exciting, but they are unwilling to meet the demands of the League One club, according to Sport One journalist Christopher Michel. Lille want the Red Devils and other suitors to part with almost 90 million euros to have a chance of recruiting the services of the Frenchman this month, while they want up to 60 million euros in the summer. Man United are looking to bolster their defensive options and have been linked with Everton centre-back Jared Brentwaite to watching him against Aston Villa on Sunday. However, they may need to wait until summer to get the England Youth International and have been keen on doing a deal for Euro during the January transfer window, opening initial talks last month. The 6 feet and 3 inches France Youth International clocked 18 last November, but has already established himself as a first-team player this term, with 20 games across all competitions under his belt after he played 15 times last term. Euro is also on the radar of Manchester City due to his confidence on the ball, and Paris Saint-Germain have recently joined them and Man United in his pursuit. Lille clearly are unwilling to let him go right now and are desperate to hand him a contract extension with his current deal expiring in 2025. The Red Devils will not be spending 90 million euros on a teenage centre-back right now, and it's highly unlikely they would agree to part with 60 million euros in the summer. They are expected to make a much-needed squad overhaul at the back this summer, with Rafael Varane and Johnny Evans in the last 5 months of their contract, while Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez have struggled with injuries in recent months. Euro fits the profile of a player capable of becoming a Man United star, but he is unproven in the Premier League, and splashing the cash on him is a huge gamble, one Sir Jim Ratcliffe may be unwilling to take, given how recent transfers at the club have gone. Man United have a clear pathway to Joshua Zirkzee, but must give it up. Manchester United splashed out a fortune to onboard Rasmus Højlund from Atalanta last summer, but the move hasn't panned out as planned. As per Florian Plettenberg, another Serie A star Joshua Zirkzee could become part of the Old Trafford dressing room, with United earmarking the Bologna prodigy as a genuine transfer target. His price tag has been set at 50 to 60 million euros, as per reports in Italian media earlier this month. Zirkzee's former club Bayern München would have the upper hand after including a buyback clause in the 2022-year-old's switch to Renato Dall'Ara in 2022. However, after completing a blockbuster signing of Harry Kane, the Bundesliga champions are not overly enthusiastic about bringing the Dutchman back to their flock. Bayern's withdrawal from the race would pave the way for Man United to price Zirkzee out of Bologna, considering his other suitors can't cope with the Red Devils' financial prowess. AC Milan and Juventus have emerged as the versatile forwards admirers in Serie A. However, considering their economic inferiority, both clubs would likely fall short of United's offer. Plattenberg's report states Man United and Bologna have initiated talks over Zirkzee's potential move to the Premier League at the end of 23-24. That would mean United's desire to capture the former Anderlecht striker has transcended the borders of theory, suggesting a summer deal could be on the cards. Man United completed most of their summer business in Serie A. Andre Onana, Sofyan Amrabat and Højlund linked up with Ten Hag's side in the last transfer window, setting the club back over 100 million euros. Each player excelled in the Italian top flight before sealing a move to Old Trafford, but couldn't replicate their form in the Premier League. Instead of learning from their mistakes, United are ready to commit to another one, and it would come at a high price. Despite their long-standing tenure in Serie A, Bologna are a middle-class team at best. Man United building a close relationship with Benfica before João Neves' approach. Manchester United are building a close relationship with Portuguese champions Benfica ahead of a summer approach for João Neves, according to Correio de Mania. The 19-year-old is currently one of the most sought-after young midfielders, and the Red Devils are prioritizing a deal for him during the summer's transfer window. They are already laying the early groundwork with Benfica, having agreed to loan out Alvaro Fernandez this month. The Primera Liga outfit will have an option to buy him. Correio de Mania highlight the recent negotiations between Benfica and United over the transfer of Fernandez have helped to bring the parties closer this month. Despite this, Benfica are firm on their transfer demands for Neves and will continue to hold out for his 120 million euros release clause at the end of the current campaign. The Portuguese champions have today announced that they have not handed the Red Devils or any other club with the right of preference over their young midfielder. Neves has been a revelation for the reigning Primera Liga champions. He has a passing accuracy of 90% for Benfica this term, with almost 4 long balls per game. The 19-year-old has also excelled defensively with 2.2 tackles and 6.9 duels won per appearance. He has made close to 7 ball recoveries per 90 minutes, winning 70% of his take-ons. The Portuguese has the hallmarks of becoming a world-class midfielder in the long term, but the question is whether Neves can have an immediate impact in the Premier League. United are likely to part ways with Casemiro, Sofyan Amrabat and probably Christian Eriksen. Kobbie Mainoo has been brilliant in the holding midfield role, despite only being 18. With his emergence, it does not appear a necessity to sign another budding young talent. Instead, the club should focus on reinforcing the midfield with more experience. Someone like Frenkie de Jong or Nicolo Barella would be a better fit alongside Mainoo, in our view. Erik ten Hag is very interested in signing Bayern Munich star Matthijs de Ligt. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag is very interested in signing Bayern Munich centre-back Matthijs de Ligt this summer. According to Sky Sport Germany, the Netherlands star joined the Bundesliga champions from Juventus last season, but he is said to be assessing his options beyond the current campaign. De Ligt has played second fiddle to Kim Min-jae and Dayot Upamecano in central defense this term. He is currently assured to start with Min-jae away on Asian Cup duty. However, a summer move is not out of the question. With Thomas Tuchel's interest in signing Ronald Araujo, De Ligt fears he could become the fourth choice centre-back. Ten Hag is very interested in a reunion with De Ligt after working together at Ajax between 2017 and 2019. He could be a top transfer target if he remains United's manager this summer. The centre-back has not expressed any frustration at Bayern and remains fully committed to the club. His agent could be working behind the scenes for a transfer, but that would highly depend on Bayern purchasing a marquee centre-back. Araujo is the top target for Tuchel. The Uruguayan is currently an undisputed starter for Barcelona. The Catalan Giants may have financial troubles, but he is probably the last player they would consider selling. Taking this into mind, we believe De Ligt will continue with Bayern next term. If the club are ready to sell, Ten Hag's presence alone may not persuade the player to move to Old Trafford. The 65 million euros rated star may want Champions League football at his next club, and that is far from guaranteed with United 8 points adrift of the top 4. As things stand, if the club were to finish 7th or 8th in the table, Ten Hag may not be at the helm beyond May. Hence, there is a lot to consider. De Ligt to United seems pure speculation. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.